Yo, it's Big Franco.
And Dolla Joe coming to you for our first podcast, man.
What up, guys?
Yeah, ladies
this
and
is
gentlemen,
the
boys
first
and girls of all ages. Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. So, this is going to be a little introduction video to our first podcast. Me and Joey started this about a week or so ago. We had this idea, and we're like, you know what? Why not just do it and see what happens? You never know, you know?
Yeah, man.
What are we talking about, Joe?
Well, today, I mean, gosh, man, there's too much to talk about these days, man. You know what I mean? There's, you got everything. You got politics, you got, you know, just the way we grew up, you got, you know, everything, man. It's just like, it's crazy, you know what I mean? And that's the thing about podcasts is that it can go about anything. You know what I mean? It really can be. But that's the thing about it. The spontaneous things are always the best, right?
Always the best.
You know what I mean?
So this one, we're going to actually do a little introduction toward how me and Joe became friends and how, you know, what we do with our lives.
Shit, you know?
You're only going to get a little bit.
Yeah, not too much. Yeah, you know how YouTube and internet go. You know what I mean? You don't want to be putting too much stuff out there, that's for sure, you know. But the way we met in high school. You know what I mean? And shit, we met in history class, right?
History class,
freshman year, man.
buddy.
That was the first time we met, you know. And
I went to a different middle school, Joe went to a different middle school, but the high schools go to one thing.
Exactly. I mean, it turned out we only live, what, 15 minutes away from
the whole time.
Different schools, you know how that goes and everything. But yeah, I mean, after that, dude, we were friends since that. You know, it's literally since that class.
Yeah.
I mean, that was it. You know what I mean?
All throughout high school until the times when...
Even out of high school. I mean, now, shit, we've been out of high school how
8
long?
years now,
really,
and it's still, we're still good friends, and it's pretty crazy. And it's
exactly.
It's one of those things where it's like your friends that you get when you're kids and you're young, and then you wind up.
Yeah.
And you may not talk all the time or every day or whatever it is, but you know that you always pick up where you left off, and you can have a long conversation.
Exactly.
And that's how it is.
No, it's the truth. You know what I mean? Because shit happens. You know what I mean? You have, you know, girlfriends and this and that. You move.
Get lives.
Man. You get jobs. You know what I mean? You start working, doing this and doing that, and you know it happens. You know, and people, especially during the winter time, people go into hibernation.
Oh yeah, big time hibernation.
You know, like, you know, at least up here in the Northeast. You know what I mean? You know, you get all this snow and shit. Nobody wants to go out.
We just had what, almost 8 inches the other night.
Yeah,
Sunday
seriously.
into Monday.
Yeah, it was a pretty good storm. You know, what I mean?
It sucks. I hate the snow. I can't wait to go down south.
Yeah, man. It was nice going down to Florida for a little bit, getting away from it. But, you know, of course, when we came back, what did we come home to? We came home to another 4 inches and a sheet of ice over it. So
that actually can bring me into a topic right now.
Yeah,
storms in the Northeast. Remember about it was maybe about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We were at our buddy's house for a Halloween party.
Oh man, dude! Talking about a storm.
It was on Halloween.
On Halloween, yeah.
For a Halloween party. It started snowing slightly. Like, we didn't think it was going to be like a big thing. Because coming from New Jersey, you grow up around snow. So it's like...
Shout out Josh and Adam.
Yeah. You know? About 1.5 feet came down in like a couple hours. It was nuts.
And the worst part is that there was so much snow and ice, and there was still leaves and everything.
Yeah.
And it was just a shit show, man. I mean, there was
trees. A tree branch fell down on their mom's car, dude.
Right, dude. On the Audi, right?
Then the power went out, and like we're all drinking and
everybody's
having
up in
fun.
Costumes and stuff, man.
Power goes out, so it's freezing cold. And there's probably about, there was like 15, 20 of us sitting in the...
probably more.
We sat like Indian style in the living room. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I fell asleep on the floor that night.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Nobody was going anywhere.
No, we were stuck. We were 100%
stuck. Man.
But we had a generator that their cousin brought a generator. But like we couldn't plug it into the house to like get the house going. So we plugged in a lamp and a radio.
That's right.
And we just had the radio go. Like our phones were, everybody's phone was like dead. We had nothing. We couldn't charge our phones.
Nobody was prepared. Nobody
it was insane. But I think we had more fun doing that than if we were to actually have like power. And, like,
right, exactly.
We all came because we were all together and we were not like, technology wasn't bogging us down. We weren't like sitting like where me and you could sit next to each other, but I can have a full-blown conversation with somebody else and not pay attention to what you're doing.
No, it's the truth.
And like that's you know that's a huge thing when you go with your friends.
Man, these things will kill relationships.
Oh, big time, big
you know
time.
What I mean? And I'm not just talking about your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, but
friendships. Period.
Friendships,
yeah,
dude,
like when I go to dinner now with friends, We actually do that. I swear to God, it really happens. Yeah. Everybody puts their phone in the center of the table, and we just sit there and we talk and have a conversation.
That's right, dude.
Because nowadays it's not like that. Like I can contest to it myself. Like I'd be at the dinner and with my family, and I'm getting clients that are calling me, and I'm constantly working or answering an email or whatever it may be, and I'm disengaging from my family.
Exactly.
When it's supposed to be dinner time.
And you know what it is, man? I read this crazy article. I forget where I read it, but what happens is that like when it comes to anything like a phone or like a video game or something like that, it releases dopamine. So like when you get a text message or you get a call or something, it's literally like a drug. You know?
Yeah.
Like no matter what it is, any kind of notification, and that's why it's so bad for the younger people too, because their brains aren't ready for that amount of dopamine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's really like. I see it everywhere I go. You see these young 6, 7-year-olds.
They're walking around with iPhones,
iPads
dude.
and iPhones
it's
and
crazy.
everything like that. It's like, you know, shoot. I mean, I didn't get my first cell phone until I was like, what, 13, 14?
Yeah, dude. I think I was
a
like
flip phone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It didn't even have color on it.
I was lucky to have a camera on it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's just a totally different
Actually,
world.
dude, my first flip phone, when you flipped it, the screen wasn't even on the flip part.
Say what?
It was on the. It literally had like one of those little small bars, like the little like where you could only read like a beeper.
Right.
Like that's what it was, just a number, and then you had the keypad, and that was it, dude. That was it,
crazy,
man. I was probably in like 7th grade.
Yeah, man.
And then like,
and that's all it did was calls. You know what I mean?
Oh, it did, and you had to wait till after 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
because if you waited after 9, you got like 3 minutes though. You know.
And then that T9 came out. You know.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You got real fast at clicking 17 different keys.
Right.
Yeah, just to say hi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
it's a serious issue though, man. I mean,
it really is. You're
really screwing up.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but do you ever hear of phantom vibrate?
No, what's that?
Dude, phantom vibrate. Like, it actually happens to me all the time. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, a lot of people, they carry their phone in their pocket, right?
Yeah, right.
So we're so in tune to the vibration of our cell phones that
you think it goes off?
It's not even going. It won't even be in my pocket.
Dude, that happens to
and
me,
I'll think that my phone is vibrating, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm holding it.
Right.
That happens, man.
Like, dude, I'll
and
be
that
in the
is
car,
something our
and
brains are doing.
Pocket, and I'll think it's vibrating, and I'll like, put my hand on it real quick.
Yeah.
Feeling nothing.
You're like, oh, and that feeling too.
I didn't know
like,
that's like a real thing.
You lose your wallet or like you use your cell phone, and that split second where you're holding, and you like panic for like that second. You know what I mean?
Drop your phone in the toilet.
Yeah. Oh my god. You're ruined. And it's like 11 o'clock at night. Like, can't go get a new one. I'm screwed.
And I'll tell you what, there is no phone that is waterproof.
Yeah.
Resistant. Or there's a big difference.
It's so true. It's so true. It really is.
You know? But it's crazy though, man. You know what I mean? But, you know, hey, I mean, obviously we grew up in a time where, you know, everything was just developing and obviously everything's bigger and better and faster and everything like that. And that's great. But think about how many years and how many generations and decades that people didn't have this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know
man.
What I mean? People got by just fine.
Think about our parents. Like when you wanted to call your new little piece. You were like, hi, you know, hey,
you gotta call them at home.
You gotta call. You gotta deal with the pops, bro.
Yo,
you gotta be like, you know, when you ring up, you're like, hey, is you know. Whoever, whatever her name is, you know, is Josephine there?
Right.
You know, they have the old names, you know? Is Doris there?
Right.
And then the dad's like, who the fuck is this?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Charlene.
Yeah. But then, like, you know they're listening on the other end, because if you pick up the other phone, they're listening.
Yeah,
you know?
of course, because they never had just one phone in the house.
No.
Let's get real, you know what I mean?
Dude, imagine, like, and then you have to go knock on the door.
The long-ass cord.
Yeah, the long-ass cord, yeah.
They go all around it, wrapped up in it.
And you gotta, like, instead of even calling, like, you gotta go, like, you didn't have a cell phone where you can text a girl, like, hey, yo, I'm here, come out.
Yeah.
You gotta, like, legit go to the door, knock on the door, and you gotta meet the parents. It's the old school way, man. And I really think, like, and in all honesty, like, bringing relationships into that, like, you almost form more of a connection with that person because, you know, you're meeting the parents right off the jump.
Right.
Nowadays, you don't meet the parents until it's like you're like
Seriously.
official and it's like 7 months into dating.
Are so
you know,
different,
it's
you know
crazy.
What I mean?
Yeah,
it's really crazy.
And it's like with first dates is the same thing. It's like you're constantly like you're asking the same person or not the same person, different people, the same questions.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over and
That's
over
the
and over
truth,
again.
Dude.
It's crazy, man.
You know what I really think it started with though is like, well, at least with like texting and everything was AIM, dude.
Yeah,
and started
BRB.
Dude. Yeah, dude, BRB, LOL, all that
Parent
stuff.
over shoulder.
Yeah, right, exactly,
yeah.
You know, and honestly, dude, I miss those days, bro. You know what I mean? You had like, you know, X amount of friends, and you know, just different chats and everything.
You ran home, jumped on.
A lot of beef went down in that stuff.
Oh
though,
yeah,
a
lot of drama.
There
was a lot of shit talk. I think that's where the real like actual like. Before social media, because that was before social media,
right?
That was really
there was
like
MySpace at that time. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was before, like,
well, it came out before MySpace, but still during that time, you still had like MySpace.
And then even at MySpace, there was shit talking, but there really wasn't a lot,
right?
Because it was like very public. Like now, you could hide a lot of stuff in comments,
right?
And people won't see it.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like if you go on Facebook,
you can delete
like
this, you can delete that.
Yeah. Like on Facebook and stuff like that. Like if you're gonna like talk shit in the comments. Like, people are just scrolling past your post because they don't even care.
Exactly.
You know, like, there's an average scroll rate. Like, there's actually do this now where, like, they were saying, like a study on Instagram that this whole thing, remember that, like, did you ever see that Fire documentary where they did that fake festival with Ja Rule and them?
Oh, yeah.
So there's an orange square, and they were saying that, like, if you scrolled through on Instagram, and as you're scrolling, there's an average rate that you scroll at, and you spend, like, 0.5 seconds looking at someone's photo. But when you get to that orange square, you immediately stop and you're like, wait a minute, that's odd. It's just a blank orange square. So you stop and you look at it and then you're like, wait. And it just, on the captions, like, Fire Festival. You're like, oh, what's that?
What the hell is
then you wind up Googling it.
Yo, that's crazy.
It's weird like that, But if you put up a picture, you and me, people are going to be like, swipe left.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yo, and that's a whole other thing, dude. Tinder.
Like, oh my God, don't get me started.
I'm a girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
With her wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like before that, you know what I mean? Like my buddy, dude, he's on Tinder all the time, bro. Like every time I like walk past him, because I work with the kid, dude, and every time I walk past him, he's always swiping, dude, and he's met a lot of girls on it, bro.
Yeah.
For real.
It's like Bumble, Hinge,
but but it's just different, man. It's just different. You know what I mean?
Really, it is.
You know what I mean?
We didn't have that when we were in high school.
Yeah, in high school.
We actually, I think we were like the last. Like little bit of generation that we had social media, but it wasn't full fledged like it is now.
Exactly.
And we were still like almost a little bit of chivalry isn't dead kind of a thing. Because nowadays I see like these young kids, man. Like I feel bad for my younger sister because like she doesn't even want to date. Period. Like she's worrying about school, which thank you.
Which is good. Yeah, thank you.
But
right?
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
She's a good girl though. You know what I mean? But
that's how it is now though. It's tough. It's actually tough because no one's in tune to each other at all. Like you just go on a date and it's like. No one goes exclusive anymore. Everyone's kind of like, you talk for 5 minutes. Yeah. And you're like, and then one issue happens and you're done.
For real.
On to the next.
That's right.
It's crazy how
there's no emotion over text or anything.
None.
Like that, you know what I mean?
Text is so hard to decipher, Joe.
It is, dude. It is.
It's so hard.
I'm serious, bro. And you know what I mean?
That's why you put LOL after stuff, so you
have to.
So you don't make it sound like
emoji, or else you just a dick.
Yeah. Like there's so many ways you could take a text that you could say hi, but it could be like a sarcastic like hi,
right?
Or it could be like a hey,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
what's up?
Yeah.
Like why didn't you put 2 question marks after that?
Yeah. It's hard to decipher that stuff, man.
It really
I'm not gonna lie.
You know. But like, when was the last time you heard of somebody just like going into a bar and actually just like meeting a guy or girl or whatever? You know what I mean? And
I mean that's how I met my girlfriend, but.
Yeah, see,
I did,
but different generation.
I saw her, corner of my eye. I was like, yo, you need to talk to her. She's beautiful. I did, I swear to God, you know? And we've been going ever since, but.
I bet that.
I mean, like I said, chivalry ain't dead for us, man.
It's not.
It's
not.
not.
I bet, dude, that the kids that are growing up in high school right now, they're not gonna have that, dude. They're not gonna have the balls enough to go into a place like, because they. All the interactions they have are over social media.
Dude.
You know what I mean? You have school, but once that's over, you know what I mean? It's over. You're back home, and they go straight to the computer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And everyone is a trigger or
watching
what is that? Keyboard warrior.
Oh,
that's what they are. They're a keyboard warrior. Where
trolls.
You could talk so much shit behind a screen and a keyboard,
and get away.
But now you can get away with it. But now, like nowadays, like I remember when we did that in high school. If you did that to somebody in high school. The next day you showed up to school, you got punched in the face.
Exactly.
That's what happened.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? Like
it happened to everybody.
And you knew not to talk shit.
Exactly.
But nowadays it's like they talk stuff, but nothing happens.
That's the truth, man.
All it is like, yeah, you did this, you did that.
But it's a joke, man. It really is.
It is a joke. You know,
it's just stupid.
I feel bad, yeah.
I know, yeah, man. I do.
Yo, Lee, what are we at on time?
Yeah, we'll be at.
All right.
Wow, strong. All right, there we go. Hey, listen, spontaneous, right?
Spontaneous.
See, that's
hey, we weren't even gonna do a podcast tonight. Like, I almost didn't even come over.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? You know, that's what it is, man. And honestly, there's so much stuff that's going on now these days, like. You know, and one thing is that, you know, we started watching a lot of podcasts,
yeah.
You know what I mean, and everything like that, you know, the whole, you know, shout out Joe Rogan and all that good stuff, dude, great content,
yeah.
man, you know
Alex
what I mean?
Jones.
Like, yeah, dude, that last one with
that last one with those
nuts,
two was pretty crazy.
Pretty eye-opening, some of this stuff,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Here's the thing about it, though, it's like, I don't believe that everything he says is true, but you can't say that all of it's not true.
Yeah, you can't disprove it.
You know what I mean? And it's like, so you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt.
Yes, of course,
you know what I mean? But... You know, it's definitely an eye-opener. But, again, just like everything else, when it comes to what you see, what you watch, what you hear, you know what I mean, everything like that, you need to take in what it is and make your own opinion about it.
Of course,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's why, like, people like super far rights that watch Fox and then, like, super far lefts that watch
CNN.
CNN.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't do that, you know what I mean? Because it's two totally different platforms just projecting the same story in a different light.
In different contexts.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
No one sits down and actually talks about... This is what we have as an idea. You have an idea. As an idea, can we compromise and figure something out? No one does that anymore. It's either you know you have a right wing person and a left wing person,
and that's
the left wing's going after the right, and the right's going after the left, and it's just
division.
political attacks and smears and everything else. And then when they put a political smear on you, it's you know I'll go and say this Joey said this and that, and then I'll go put it to the media. Once the media reports it. And I can go, well, no, it's true. The media reported it. It's true.
Right.
But
exactly.
what's
like,
happening
he
now?
Said this about Joey.
Yeah, exactly,
you know
exactly.
I mean?
But what's happening now is a lot of that's getting disproven.
Right.
Because the media is jumping to conclusions on certain things, like this Jussie Smollett thing.
Right.
Jumps right to this saying that this happened, that this was a hate crime and everything else.
Right.
Well, when the facts come out, facts don't lie.
Right.
Facts do not lie. Facts.
And there's a lot of people
truth.
that think that it's bullshit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's crazy.
They say, oh, well, they just came out with this now and saying now that it's bullshit and that he's being arrested or whatever, this and that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, listen, you got to look at the facts, man.
You got to look at the facts.
But that's the thing is,
no one does.
No one.
They want to think emotion trumps facts, and emotion does not trump facts.
No, it can't.
It does not.
Dude.
Facts
that's where it's
are
coming.
facts.
That's where it's coming from.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Everything's emotional now. You know, everybody's getting offended and this and that and everything, and that's a whole nother.
That's another podcast for a different time. We'll do conspiracy theories. We're gonna do a bunch of different podcasts, guys.
Like for example, like my dad, right? He's pretty conservative. You know what I mean? Vietnam vet. He's pretty conservative.
Love that man.
Yeah, up your guy. But he's a total Fox guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you can't lean one way or the other.
And now that he's on Facebook.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
Now that he's on Facebook, he sees all these crazy memes and this and that and blah, 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 and he'll post something, and some other guy will wind up commenting on his post, saying some stuff, and then it just turns into another just trolling.
Snowball.
Yeah, just a snowball effect.
Yeah.
And I go to my house, I'm like, Dad, you can't.
You know what I mean? Can't take it what these guys are saying.
Seriously. You know what I mean? Like, it's just some guy
social media wasn't until later in life.
He didn't, dude. I mean,
you know?
He's freaking 70 years old. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. You know what I mean? And it's just really, it can tear people apart. You know what I mean?
Really
like
can,
my uncle, for example, like, he literally just totally blocked his nephew, I'm sorry, his cousin. Like, he's like super left, you know, and everything, and just was posting all this crazy stuff, and he's like, you know what, fuck you, like, I'm out of here.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he's like, I'm done.
That's pretty intense,
you know what I mean?
man.
It's like, and it's crazy, and that's family. You know what I mean? Like,
it's literally splitting people apart with this stuff, man.
You know?
It's pretty crazy. But that's going to be, we and Joey can talk about this for hours.
Seriously.
And we're going to do one of those podcasts where it's going to be an hour-long thing.
Yeah. You know what one we should do, too, is, like, talking about, like, music and everything.
Yeah.
That's one thing that really brings
people together, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you can always agree on music.
Yeah, that's the truth. But you know what I mean? And that's what it is all about. It's about bringing people together. You know what I mean? Because the fact of the matter is that not only this country, but this whole world is about division.
I know.
Everybody wants to be divided. Yeah. Okay, they want you to either be on this side or that side.
Yep.
And there's never going to be one together.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It'll never happen because there's always going to be two sides to a story and two this and two that.
Always.
You know what I mean? But I mean that's the God's honest truth. You know what I mean?
But guys, listen.
Yeah.
we want to put out, we just put an email out there. It's on our YouTube page where we're gonna, this is gonna be posted.
Yeah, check the Instagram.
Yeah,
the real Instagram.
At big_Franco.
Right, and then we just got at Dolla Joe. I'm sorry, at Dolla Joe. Check the link, okay?
Check the link, yeah. They'll be in the link. You can email us at bigfranco.dollajoe@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you want to talk
about stuff, you guys want to come on and call
in,
or you want to come on the podcast and talk to us and give us ideas. We're going to have some special guests in the near future, maybe.
For sure.
Some older people that will talk about things that, we don't probably know much about. And then we want to bring in some younger people and see how, technically we're millennials, but I feel like we're really not, though.
I want to see, Generation Z.
Yeah, I want to see what they're about.
Like, people that are in high school right now, or, just got into college.
Yes.
That generation.
How they think and what, what's going on. Because I know that me and you have a different perspective on life.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
But see, we can keep going all day.
It just keeps going. You know what I mean?
But guys, Joe,
thanks for watching and listening.
We're going to get better at the endings. It's the first one, guys, all right? You got to give us a break.
For real.
Cheers, buddy. Slamming them?
Let's do it.
All right.